Hey guys, welcome back to Holistic Homesteading with the Hursts. I'm Megan, and this is baby Nehemiah. He is 4 days old today, and I wanted to just kind of go through his birth story. I do have footage of the birth that I will be sharing in a birth vlog later on, but I really just wanted to kind of give like a little bit of behind the scenes, things that were going through my head that you can't really capture on video and all of that stuff. So I also want to give a disclaimer that I'm going to talk about emotions and things that happen with birth that if you're not comfortable with, you may not want to watch this. So just letting you know that there are things that happen with birth that maybe some don't know happen or you don't feel comfortable listening to or talking about. So I'm going to talk about some of those things and that, yeah. So anyways, let's get started. So he was born October 10th, and on October 9th, I lost my mucus plug that morning. And so recent births had told me that that means I'm not too far away from going into labor. So with my first, I lost my mucus plug, but it was like 5 days after that I went into labor. My second, he came too fast. I don't remember losing anything before him. There was nothing before him. No symptoms or signs. And then with my third, I lost my mucus plug the morning of labor, like right before I went into labor. So I knew it was a sign that labor was going to begin, but I just didn't know when exactly. So we went on about our day, and my sister cleaned the house for me, which was really nice. I actually hired her several months back to clean my house twice a month so that I could kind of keep up with things with 3 kids and being pregnant. And that was one of the best gifts that I could give to myself and then my husband, was just to be able to have a clean house every now and then. And so it was perfect timing for her to come over and clean the house. She braided my hair for me, and you'll see in the birth vlog that my hair is still braided when he comes. But I didn't really have any like contractions or anything throughout the day. It was just kind of normal. I went to my husband's gym and uploaded a video. I used the Wi-Fi there, so that's how I upload my videos most of the time. And yeah, it was just kind of a normal day. Thankfully, it was kind of relaxing because my kids played with their cousins while my sister cleaned my house, and I was able to get some work done and just kind of relax. So I was very thankful for that because that night was terrible. My 1-year-old decided that she wanted to be awake for like 4 hours. I don't know if she like sensed that something was coming, a change was coming, or if she was restless. I have no idea. I really don't. But from 1 o'clock till almost 4 o'clock in the morning, she was awake. And my husband and I were taking turns trying to get her to go back to sleep, trying to soothe her. And that is about the time that my contractions started happening too. So that was kind of stressful. I remember just like breaking down in tears because I was so exhausted. I was having contractions. They weren't like super close together. They're like 15 to 20 minutes apart, but it was just so tiring to think that I might be in labor or things might start progressing quickly, and I have a 1-year-old that won't sleep, and it was taking my husband's attention away too, and he was exhausted, so that was rough. He finally got her to go back to sleep around 4 in the morning, and I was able to sleep from then until about 7. So I got up about 7, and I had contractions like about 15-20 minutes apart. I wasn't really timing them. I just assumed that that's about how far they were apart because I was able to sleep in between. And so at 7 I woke up, and my husband was starting to get ready to go to work, and I told him I didn't think that he needed to go today or that day, so I thought, we were probably going to be having a baby that day because of the feeling of the contractions, not because of the consistency, but because of the level of intensity that they were. They were more like period cramps, contractions versus the Braxton Hicks. And so I knew that some things were going on. I'd already had lost my mucus plug, and then also that morning I seemed to have lost more. And so he wanted me to call the midwife, and I told him I was just going to call her and let her know what was going on. So I called her and told her about the terrible night that I'd had and that I was hungry. So she suggested that I go back to bed and just try to get some sleep and maybe get a small meal in just to kind of help me with energy, and to call her back if they started getting closer together. And my husband started immediately setting up the birth pool. Like, he was not wasting time. He has this sense, and he knows how quickly I go into labor, even though I keep like pushing it off, thinking it's not going to happen anytime soon. He just knew, I guess. So he started setting up the pool, and I was thinking to myself, it's probably a little too soon to be doing that, but whatever. But immediately after I hung up the phone with her, I had 3 or 4 contractions about 3 minutes apart. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is happening way faster than I thought it would. So I started timing them, and I grabbed my birth ball and started like sitting on it and just like working my way through contractions. And my husband's like, we need to call her and tell her to come. So he called her and told her to go ahead and come on, that he thought I was going to progress a lot faster than what I had said, which my previous midwives had said, don't believe her if she says it's going to be a while, because they just come fast, I guess. So that was about 8 o'clock when he called her and told her to come on. And I popped in my headphones and started listening to the Christian Hypnobirth app, and immediately it was just calming, because just imagine a household with 3 kids, and everybody, my husband's trying to get breakfast ready for the kids and the pool ready for me, and the kids, I don't know why, but they just start fussing and arguing when I'm in pain, apparently. And so I could just hear them in the background. So I just put my headphones in and listening to the Christian Hypnobirthing app, and started like focusing on what I was about to go through. I did not get any breakfast. My husband did make me a smoothie, and I was able to like sip on it just a little bit. But once I got into like labor mode, like the hunger kind of went away. But I did know that I needed something for energy, so I decided to just sip on that and drink lots of electrolytes and water, and just try to stay hydrated throughout this. At one point, I remember thinking, oh my goodness, I really want to get in the pool. And my husband was already starting to fill it up. Unfortunately, it leaked, like the water from the tub to the pool leaked in our kids' room and ended up soaking the carpet. It's kind of a funny story, but we did get that cleaned up. But it was slowly filling up because of that leak, so it wasn't quite ready when I wanted it to be. But they eventually got it ready, and I think around, I don't know, maybe like 8:45 or 9, I got in the pool. And that is so much better than laboring outside of the pool. It just like immediately relaxed me and just felt so much better. And I just started working my way through contractions, and it was not long. I started asking for Brian to get in the pool with me to like do hip squeezing while I was going through contractions. And at 9:27, Nehemiah was born, which was pretty awesome that it happened in like 2 hours. So the midwife got there about 8:30 or 8:15, and then he was born at 9:27. So it was a wild ride. The Lord sustained me through that with not having any rest or much food or anything like that. And I do feel like the previous births, using what knowledge I had from them and then trying to tweak little things to make it a better experience, was so helpful. Oh goodness, what's the matter? What's the matter? I was really soothed by the Christian hypnobirthing app. It was so nice to just have the scriptures read to me while I was, at my weakest point, because I literally had, no sleep, no fuel for energy, and it could have been really hard. And not that labor's not hard anyways. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional. Not that labor's not hard anyways, but just having the strength of scripture read and poured into me at this moment of weakness just helps sustain me. And then having my family surrounding me through this difficult time, this hard time, and cheering me on, and telling me I could do this. And it was just, it's kind of magical, I guess, in a way, although spiritual would probably be a better word, because I felt strong in a time that I should have felt weak. So it was just amazing. He was my biggest baby, 8 pounds 10 ounces. He was my biggest baby by a full pound, and which is crazy. I knew that he was going to be at least 8 pounds just from carrying him, and like the differences in pregnancies and the amount of weight that I gained, but I did not expect 8 pounds 10 ounces. It was pretty wild. So but he was so healthy, and you guys, if you've been following, know that I fell with him around 28 or 29 weeks pregnant, something like that. And that was such a big scare, knowing that when I fell right on my stomach, and he was so far along that it didn't feel like there was a whole lot of protection for him. But when the midwife looked at the placenta and looked at his cord, she was talking about how thick his cord was, and that it could have wrapped around like 3 times and not have affected him, because it was so thick it wouldn't have cut off any blood supply or anything like that. And that the placenta was super healthy looking and very big, so he was getting lots of nutrients. And just knowing that, like, after sorry, I didn't expect this to be emotional. Just knowing that he was protected, and not only protected but thriving in my womb, and God he had plans for him, and it just, kept showing me that God was in control no matter what I was doing. So anyways, okay, sorry. Nehemiah has a story with our family too that I don't want to share on here, but it's just very special. And it was just amazing to see, after I've watched some of the footage too, of how helpful my family was. Even my kids, just in the middle of labor and birth, and they were just there and just loving on me and, you know, being there to help me. And in the Bible, Nehemiah goes back and to, I think it's Jerusalem. I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but to help rebuild the wall after war and to protect the city. I kind of feel like, gosh, I don't want to cry. I kind of feel like, you know, God gave his name to us, to my husband, before this stuff started happening, and he used this baby in my womb, in my pregnancy, jeez, to rebuild some things in our family, in our life, in our faith, to help us along. So, man, sorry. But that's kind of why I wanted to sit down and do his birth story instead of just sharing the vlog. So I will share his birth vlog in a couple of weeks. You guys will probably see another video come out in between those, maybe even two that I was working on prior to his birth. And I kind of want to get those out first before his birth vlog, because I want to take my time on editing it. So I hope that maybe this is inspirational for you. I hope that it can help your faith, and I hope that you can celebrate with us this new birth for our family. If you are new here and you have not subscribed, I would love for you to do that. And I make videos on homesteading, homemaking, and a holistic lifestyle. So I would love to have you be a part of our YouTube family. And yeah, so we will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.